Now, moving on, talking about kind of supply, where is it? How is it all positioned in the market? The URPD, and this one here you'll find in our Glassnode engine room dashboard. This is for our professional enterprise clients. So this one here is breaking down all of the cost bases of supply. So on the x-axis is price, and then on the y-axis is how many coins were acquired at those positions, and then by long-term, short-term, and exchanges. So basically bifurcating out the supply. Now, at the time when I took this screenshot, which was actually yesterday, you can see the price was down here at about 49,000. It is actually trading up here at about 50,000. So we've actually seen that there's actually fewer than 13% of the supply. So these coins here are the only ones that remain at a higher price point. Now, these folks who've bought their coins at 50,000, 60,000, almost 70,000, now I'm, putting a bit of myself in here. I don't know if I quite have UTXOs from 60,000, but I definitely have some from 50 and 55. I don't particularly care about those cost bases. So in many ways, these long-term holders, it's very unlikely that this was their only buy for the most part. The fact that they still hold on to these coins probably tells you they've got a bunch down here as well in these lower price points. So in that instance, this is a fairly insensitive price cohort, right? They've kind of seen it all. And at this point in time, I strongly doubt they're sitting there waiting for cost basis to basically take a break-even price. Very few people actually, some people do, by the way, actually hold their coins for the full 3 years and then take a small loss on the way back higher. But what we're basically saying here is that in terms of that supply discovery concept, there's just not that many coins with a cost basis above us who are price sensitive. So in that regard, you can see that the vast majority of the previous cycle is between that low down here at 15,000, here's the FTX low, up to about 45,000, potentially you could argue up to 50. This is essentially where Bitcoin's supply lives and exists. There's obviously previous cycles down in those earlier price points, but we can really see that we've had a vast majority of coins have refound their position on their equilibrium level down here in these levels. And above us, there is very, very little supply left as what we could argue would be resistance. Most of the coins that are going to be resistance from this point on are going to come from these existing holders transferring them up to a higher cost basis. And in many ways, this is starting to get towards potentially another transitional phase, moving into that long-term holder distribution cycle, which we actually haven't seen more or less up until the recent weeks.